Hello students and MuseScore users in particular. This is the Explode demo, and hopefully this tool within MuseScore will help to make your workflow a little bit faster in Project 3. Now, it's a feature that's a little bit limited. There's an Explode feature in Sibelius, one in Finale as well. They're more full-featured. We're limited here in the sense that we're going to have to be sort of shuffling our staves around in order for them to be in a particular order. So that is your caveat. But what I've done here is I've got basically the Project 3 template, and you can see I've got my instruments in the order that I would be, submitting my score. I've got this little idea on my sketch line. Of course, part of the idea of the sketch line here is that we're going to be using these analysis symbols. And I'm going to go ahead and play this idea for you guys. It's just, four-way close with a double lead. You can see that the lead is doubled an octave lower here, and then here again. So I'll just play this little passage for you. There's a bass happening to reinforce it. Here's what it sounds like. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and I've entered in the dynamics on this top staff, and the reason I've done that and the articulations as well, of course, is that it's going to save me time when I use this Explode feature, so that rather than having to continually, copy, paste articulations, or worse still, drag them from the palette, I'll have them already. So here's what I do. It's pretty simple. I need to first of all copy this information. So let's say the top staff information. So this is going to be my trumpet, alto saxophone, and tenor saxophone in most cases. The problem here is because of the way that MuseScore works, it insists on all the staves being continuous, one after the other. It wants trumpet, then alto sax, then tenor sax. Well, that's not what we have here. So what I'm going to have to do for this to work is I'm going to have to temporarily now go to my instrument screen. That's the I shortcut. And I'm going to go to my trumpet here, and I'm just going to bump that up to the top and then hit OK. So now, this will be a temporary score order for me, but it's going to help me work this way. Now I can take these chords here, and again, I'm just making a selection in the treble clef. I'm going to copy those to my clipboard. I'm going to now just make a selection on the trumpet staff here and paste that information. Okay, so obviously that doesn't do us a ton of good, but what we're going to do next is what is cool here, which is to go to the tools, and it's this one called Explode, and bam. So you can see that what I now have is I now have all of this information partitioned out among the trumpet, alto saxophone, and tenor saxophone. So then I could do that with the baritone, saxophone, and trombone. Now generally you're going to have your trombone as your sort of fourth voice. So again, I'm going to come to my instruments here, and I'm going to just bump my trombone up one above the baritone saxophone. And then I'm going to select, but you'll notice here that I don't have the dynamics made within that selection. So what you might want to do is just even temporarily, you might want to copy and paste any dynamic information that you have to the bottom of the bass clef, so that when you make this selection on the bottom or bass clef, you now have all that information. So I'm going to copy that to my clipboard, and again I'm going to just click on my trombone staff, paste it to there. Okay, you'll see two notes at once, but that's when I run this command, tools, Explode, like that. So we can just, we'll just kind of pretend that that's the end of our use for this right now. So what I need to do now is put these staves back in order. So I'm going to revisit my I instruments, and alto saxophone is going to go on top, and we're going to move our trumpet back down to where it was before, and our bari sax is coming up here. And again, this is the limitation to using this within MuseScore, but hopefully, at the end of the day, it's worth it, and you only need to make the shift a couple of times. So what I do need to do at this point is I need to come in and add my brackets again, right? So for my palettes, my brackets, and I've got one for my saxophones, and I'm going to have one for my brass instruments. So that, like that, and yeah, so we're all good there now. You'll notice that we also had some of this text, okay, our staff text. So, you know, what you might do is you might just, you know, click and delete them like that. Or, you know, maybe when you're done with your project, you can also click on one of these elements and then control right click and go to select. It's going to have to be all elements in the same staff. And you want to make sure that it's not going to grab any other text that you actually want on that staff. And then delete them that way. So there's a couple ways to do that. The idea is, of course, is just getting rid of this sort of circle text from all of these parts, but leaving it on the sketch, which is why we did not use all similar elements, because we didn't want to wipe this one out. All right, well, let's see what it sounds like now. Yeah, so it's nice and full, and hopefully that saved us a little bit of time. We probably would want to clear out the dynamic information from below the bass staff. In fact, we don't really even need it here in our sketch either. That was just for the purpose of doing the exploding. So yeah, hopefully again something that saves you a little bit of time.